retaining and countering from north-south, guys. Okay, so look, from chest to chest, north-south, I think about forcing my partner back to side control by, look, turning to my left, retracting my right elbow to get a frame, then turning to my right, retracting my left elbow as a frame, guys, okay? So I'm framing in his armpits, and I think about bringing my knees to my elbows, pummeling my shins in at my partner's collarbones, and we can start to recover our guard, guys, okay? So think about it again, guys. Look, if I move either way, okay, if I move to my right, I retract my left elbow. To my left, I retract my right elbow. As soon as I get one of those frames, guys, it's a little easier to get the second one in, okay? And once I do, guys, look, I just bring my shins in. I like to pummel 1 foot across. You're going to see in a little bit, guys, this leads to some counterattack opportunities, guys, okay? That's the basic retention from there, from chest to chest, north-south. I'm going to do another video, guys, okay, with a few other follow-ups, but this is the basic retention. Again, whatever side my head moves to, right, I'm just retracting that other elbow, bringing it back inside. Okay, and then we're just going to think about bringing our knees back inside and touching our knees to our elbows. Again, guys, think about inserting your shins at their collarbones, okay, at the collarbones. And then I can usually pummel 1 foot across, okay? So first counter we'll kind of look to do here would be this triangle, okay? You guys see how I pummel my foot across and then my head spins towards my foot, and I can pull my partner into this triangle, okay? It's a pretty basic setup, guys, okay? Somebody good will just kind of posture out, but it's a great way to kind of force your partner to have to react. So again, guys, from the top, again, you guys see it, whatever side my head moves, that opposite side elbow is retracting and framing underneath the armpit, gripping the ribs. Then I get my second frame in. From here, I'm going to bring my shins in. I get kind of some momentum by swinging back and forth. Look, I pummel my right foot in, and then my head spins towards my foot, and look, my legs whack, lock over my partner's head and arm, and I can pull them into a triangle, guys, okay? I'm going to do a more in-depth video on finishing triangles in the future. Okay, so please comment, let me know if you'd like to see that. So again, guys, look, I try to pummel a shin across. Okay, and look, if I can't go for the triangle, then I'm going to pull my partner in to this Choi bar, guys. Okay, so if I can pummel a shin just across their collarbone, that's when I'm going to think about spinning towards the hips and attacking the Choi bar. So those are the two upper body attacks, guys, okay? Either triangle or Choi bar. I'm going to do a more detailed video a bit later, guys, okay, on those two attacks. Now, look, second scenario is my partner standing, gripping my shins, okay? Same kind of motion, guys. Look, you guys see how I look to make frames, and then I pummel a foot across. So I bring my foot in, and then I shoot it across, okay? It's hard for him to stop that motion. And then again, if I can push his hand past his elbow line, I can swing my foot to the hip or again spin into this triangle, okay? Probably a little more likely, guys, I'm going to get the Choi bar, okay? Dylan's just being kind of nice to me. Now again, guys, look, it kind of depends what's getting closest, okay? If their legs are really close, I'm going to frame on their shins. I'm going to show how to handle somebody getting really close in a second, but again, look, think about pummeling your foot across and spinning your head towards your foot. Okay, so my right foot pummels across, my head's going to go to my left, okay, towards the foot. And again, look, I'm going to get these opposite grips on his arm. I can try to pull my partner into this triangle by shooting my hips up into the air, or I can threaten this Choi bar. Okay, so triangle, Choi bar are going to be two kind of upper body attacks I'm looking for. So look, my partner comes in. Again, look, I'm kind of framing the shins, okay, pummeling a foot across. This is usually what's going to set up those two attacks, guys, okay? Either I can kind of spin through for the triangle or attack the Choi bar. Now, guys, look, if their leg gets a little too close, the third attack we'll kind of look at here is this K-guard position, okay, where I'm passing my leg through. Okay, so whichever foot steps the closest, that's what leg I'm going to look to enter. I'm going to pull their knee on my chest, and then I can pass my foot across into this position I think Lachlan calls the outside senkaku. Okay, so I like this position, guys. Okay, it's a little bit hard to see here. Okay, but yep, look, you can see it right there. Look, guys, see I'm triangling my right leg over my left leg. Okay, as long as I keep kind of my right foot a little tight to their hip, and really hard for him to counter me, right? It's not a whole lot he can do. Okay, I can usually get a pretty decent chance at finishing either the heel hook or the knee bar on that leg. Okay, so again, now we're kind of transitioning into our K guard. So again, I'm building frames, pummeling a foot across. Okay, I'm kind of trying to step on my partner, making it hard for him to just grip my two shins and clear my feet. Again, we can just spin back through and recover, okay, and just get our guard back. Okay, but if we're looking to counter, Again, you guys see I'm almost like bicycling my legs up, right? I'm climbing my legs up, getting a foot across to the hip, pulling his knee onto my chest, pummeling my right foot through, and I'm gonna hook it on its far hip. When he backsteps, guys, watch, I'm gonna shorten my right leg. Okay, look, shorten my right leg, point my right knee at the mat, pummel my left foot across, and again, I'm gonna figure four my legs, my left leg over my right leg. Guys, see how my right knee is dropped into the hip pocket. Then I can get a whole bunch of free attacks on that leg, okay, which I'm gonna show more detail a little bit later, guys, okay? And lastly, we have our slam dunk, guys, right? If my partner's driving in a little too much, sometimes I can just take a scoop grip, kick my legs forward. I can force him to post, and we can go into, again, guys, this backside 50-50. From here, guys, look, if I can ever scoop my right arm around his foot, catch it behind my head, makes it pretty easy for me to transition into some attacks on this free leg, okay? So again, look, I like to grip the heel, pass it to my armpit for this knee bar, okay? It's a pretty solid attack. Or we can think about climbing over, okay, for the heel hook, guys, okay, really a bunch of different attacks on that foot, which I'm happy to cover, guys, okay? I can spend a whole kind of course on going over 50-50. So again, guys, look, he drives in. I'm not just scooping his leg, I'm also stomping my feet to the mat. That's gonna make him post, and again, it's gonna make this backside 50-50 entry a little bit easier, right? And again, guys, look, if he just stays here, that's when I can collect that heel, okay, and have probably one of the more powerful finishes, okay? So last couple times, guys, again, he's on top, he's driving in. So look, I'm gonna stomp the mat and pull on his leg. Okay, so they have to be really pushing in for this to work. But if you do, guys, really good counter. And again, as soon as I go to backside 50-50, I'm anticipating him backstepping, shortening my right leg, triangling my legs across the hip in this outside Senkaku position. We can also pass our foot under to double 50. Give it a shot, follow for more.